Today I'm going to be showing you the essential skill that every man needs in order to make women pursue you. Okay, now this is going to be the keys to getting her to fit your frame, getting her into a submissive state to follow your lead, and ultimately making sure that she views you as the man that she wants. Now, these are essential skills that all guys need to master, because once you have them internalized, you can copy paste them into any dating interaction that you choose. Now, another cool thing, I put together a little gift for you. You can check it out down below. I don't really do this very often, but in today's video, I'm giving you a gift. Okay, so be sure to go look at it after the video is over. I'm sure you'll be very pleased. Okay, now this is a very important video because I split these two columns up into front end game. Okay, and front end game is where you are basically getting the girl to like you and feel like there's organic chemistry. Think of this as puppy love. Okay, she's in a playful state and she starts to genuinely like you. A lot of guys, when they get so invested into masculinity type content, they lose the playful state that hooks a woman into love. Okay, women need that tension. They need that kind of push-pull. They need that puppy love feeling that things just happened to have that organic chemistry. And a lot of guys, when you are so rigid in your masculinity, a lot of times you lose that ability to actually make that woman feel something, which is what she needs to actually look at that guy and go, damn, I really like him. These two columns, we're going to be talking about what to do on the front end. Okay, these two columns we save for the back end. This is where she's looking for masculine leadership. She's looking for guidance. This is where you set the frame and the tone of the relationship to come. These are both needed and they're both equally important. So the very first piece when it comes to the front end, in order to make women pursue you, is when you first meet the woman, okay, you're always expressing slight disinterest. Okay, you are slightly disinterested in the woman. And I know that sounds crazy, but when you pair that with your ability to enter into that interaction with courage or confidence or be bold with how you talk, this is like the perfect combo. Okay, when you enter into an interaction, like let's say you meet a woman out shopping, or you meet a girl out at, the bar or the club, or you meet a woman out on the street or wherever you're at some sort of venue or some sort of social event. When you enter with confidence, but you're constantly expressing slight disinterest, but in a playful way, this is going to 100% be the vibe that she needs to want to see you or to want to continue that interaction. So what is the vibe going in? The vibe needs to be that she's potentially winning you over. The second that you lose the frame, in the essence of it's almost as if you're trying to gain her approval or you're trying to win her over, this dissatisfies hypergamy. So this, when you have the vibe that she's winning you over, she's qualifying to you, right? You're getting her in a state where it's almost like you're screening her and seeing what she's made of. This is the only way to satisfy hypergamy when you first meet a woman. Now you might be wondering, why is that? Okay, here's why. Upon meeting a woman, aside from just how you look and what you're wearing, okay, upon meeting a woman, she has no idea what you do. She has no idea who you are, nor does she care. She has no idea how much money you make, okay? All she's judging you on is your words, how those words make her feel, okay, and your social value. Your social value is conveyed through body language. Your social value is conveyed through how you sound when you talk. Your social value is conveyed through the social skills of the thoughts, feelings, and emotions that you can put into other people as you're around them. This is what the woman's viewing. This is how you look like you're a guy who can satisfy hypergamy. You have to remember, you can be a rapper, a professional football player, doesn't matter. The second that guy starts to give in to tendencies to show that he's qualifying to her in any way, shape, or form, this is where she's going to look at him with loss of attraction. So the reason why I'm stressing this, why it's so important to understand these concepts when you first meet a woman, is you can do this at any age, any income level, with any amount of, like it doesn't matter your job, your career, your self-improvement journey nearly as much, because guys get so fixated on that. When you first meet a woman, she doesn't know any of that about you and she doesn't care. She's judging you based on the things that you're saying and how those things make her feel. So when you take a look at this, you might be looking at this and this sounds like hard concepts to understand, and if you're right there, I get that. The 3 takeaways I want you to remember: you need to constantly be teasing. When you tease a woman, okay, what that does is it heightens her emotions. It makes her laugh. It makes her want to qualify to you, right? You're going to notice she's going to say, no, that's not what I mean, or no, I'm not actually like that. Okay, you're teasing her. You're playing around. She knows what's going down. If she likes you and she finds you attractive, she'll play into it. Just let the game happen, okay? Number 2. You're getting her in a playful state through fantasy. Maybe you're playing games, okay? Maybe you're doing things at a social event. Whatever the case may be, it's all lighthearted because there's tension. This is key. Women need tension. Women need to stay in a playful state, and women constantly need to have you tease them so that way they can like you, right? Just a little bit. It's like there's that tension and there's that bubbly environment that she needs where she can live in girl world. Okay, this is first. Now, going into the next concept when it comes to the front end, okay, front end game and how you navigate dating interactions. What you always want to do is you need to end communication on a high note. What does that mean? That means when her emotions or her happiness is at a 10 out of 10, okay, I don't care if you're talking to her on the phone, I don't care if she's right there in front of you, doesn't matter. This is where you need to remove yourself. What guys do is they stay in interactions too long. Okay, if I go out sometimes and like have a good interaction with like a group of people, if there's a girl that I was interested in and she says something to me and I say something maybe witty or I get her to laugh or I'm teasing her about something, when she starts to laugh, when she starts to smile, when she looks at her friends and is like, oh my God, did he really just say that? That's when I bounce. That's when I dip. That's when I leave real quick. And I might come back later, but it gets her to miss you. Okay, so here's what you do. When you notice she's laughing, when you notice that they're smiling, when you notice that there's fun, okay, this is when the conversation ends really quick. You say, I gotta go. This is where the phone call ends really quick. You say, I got something to do, long day ahead of me tomorrow, I gotta go prep for work. This is where you shift your attention elsewhere. Now you might be wondering, well, why? Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to take myself away like that? Why would I want to remove myself from the interactions like that? I'll explain. The first thing that it's going to do is it's going to make her miss you. The second thing that it's going to do is the last point of communication between you and her, okay, is now at peak emotion. So what happens is when guys sit in interactions long enough, you have the spot where the peak emotion's been hit. She's laughing. She's at a 10 out of 10 happiness or fun. She's not thinking about work next Monday. She's not thinking about the grocery list she has to get when she goes out on Sunday, any of that. She's purely right there in the moment with you. That's a powerful state to have a woman when she's 100% present. If she's laughing, if she's smiling, she's 100% present in front of you. Okay, what guys do is they stay in interactions too long. So she's right here at peak emotion and then they keep trying to talk to her. And you're gonna notice her interest level dip. And she's not even going to necessarily notice that this is happening. It's just going to happen. Women go off the vibe. Women go off how they feel. Okay, this is why you need to end the communication on a high note. When you end the communication on a high note, at least when you exit, she starts to miss you and she's sitting there thinking, man, I really want to see him again. So the last point of communication was at peak emotion, and you got to understand this is needed because they need the roller coaster. They need the roller coaster. They need to feel things when you speak. That means every word, when they're holding on to it, when they hold on to every word that you say, you're conveying high social value. You can learn how to do this with $5 in your bank account or 50 grand in your bank account. It doesn't matter. So I'm explaining this because even guys who are high value on paper, like you make 200 grand a year, okay, you're a general practitioner, doctor, you're a high level CEO, I don't care what the occupation I don't care what it is. That doesn't do anything to make her feel the right way. When you first meet a woman, all she's looking at is your words and your social value and how that makes her feel. So these are the 2 keys to making women pursue you on the front end. The front end means the first interaction or the first few interactions when you guys are getting to know each other. Now, let's say you guys are now seeing each other regularly. Let's say an attachment's been built or this woman is repetitively calling you. You're setting dates with her throughout the course of weeks or months. Now you're going to need to shift into what I call back-end game. This is a totally different skill set. So the biggest 2 takeaways to getting women to pursue you. The first lesson that we're going to dive into okay, is understanding how women need to be led. Now, stick with me on this. Women need to be led in a variety of ways. So what I can tell you is picking the restaurant isn't good enough. Guys like, oh, I told her where we're going to go eat and what time. Isn't that me leading? Yeah, it is in a small way. But like women's entire attitude and being and like who they are, what they're longing for in the long run is to grow love and respect and admiration for a man because he's able to lead her and potentially her family in all ways, shapes, and forms. So you need to care about what she does and how she acts. You need to care. See, this is the part that why guys can't lead properly is because they don't care. They don't care about anything. They do the right things in the right order to maybe see the girl a few times or to get laid once or twice. And then it's like they stop caring because truthfully, they don't care about a lot of things in life. Now, when a woman sees that you don't care, like about even small things, okay, she starts to think, this guy's not invested in me enough to want to lead me. This guy is not necessarily invested in the potential. Like you got to understand, when you comment on things like a woman's appearance and what you want to see her in, this excites her. When you comment on her tone of voice, okay, so that way she's pleasing towards you. What she sees is she sees that you care. She sees that you're noticing. Okay, she's like, he wants me to say this. He likes when I talk this way. He likes when I do these sorts of things for him. Okay, things you need help with, or that you want her to do for you, when you verbally express it, you're now leading her in different ways. You're creating things to do, okay? You got to understand how easy life is set up right now for most guys and for most women for that matter. If you're dating a woman, chances are your heating, your gas, your electrical, and your air conditioning is on automatic setup. Your rent or your mortgage is drafted automatic. Anybody can just go to the grocery store and get food at any time, okay? And eventually it's going to come down to the relationship where you guys are sitting on the couch eating enchiladas with not much to talk about. You run the risk of things going stale because life is easy. That means you have to get creative. You have to find ways to lead. You have to find ways to lead your woman. And it's hard for guys to do this because we live in a comfortable environment where you can get by on your own survival without being very much of a leader. This is great to make things easy. This is very bad when it comes to maintaining a woman's attraction. So, women are only happy when they're constantly serving or pleasing a man. Okay? Find tasks for her to do. Tell her things that you want her to do for you. Find projects that you're trying to do or ways that you're trying to grow yourself as an individual. Make sure she can help you with stuff like that. The more she helps you, the more she does for you, big or small. Okay, hey, can you get me a coffee on your way over? Hey, I like when you cooked XYZ food. Can you make that again Tuesday night for me, baby? God, I love when you do that. Okay? She wants you to take initiative. She wants you to lead. She wants you to do things that prompt her to nurture the relationship. The thing is she's not going to do these things unless you verbally say it. That's the whole point of you being a leader in the first place. This is what she's looking for on the back end. Once you guys start to have like more of a official relationship or you guys are consistently seeing each other. So you have to get creative and you have to find shit for her to do. This is hard because we live in a cushy environment. We live in a plush environment. That means a woman needs to be led physically, a woman needs to be led mentally/emotionally, and a woman definitely needs to be led spiritually or morally. This is the part that I find a lot of creators struggle talking about, and I don't know why. Like leading a woman like morally or needing to lead a woman towards God. You got to understand, women need those things because it nurtures her soul and her spirituality. So if you ever sit back and you wonder, why are women so into astrology? Why do women love posting quotes and affirmations and things on Instagram? Why are they constantly on these little blog websites that have cute quotes in them that sound spiritual? Why do they have this? They have this because they need it, because men don't do the right things to nurture their soul in that ways to get them to where they want to be. If you lead a woman towards not only like a standard, you got to understand how powerful that is to hook them into love. They need that masculine leadership. They need the whole stack. They need to be led physically. They need to have their emotions led mentally, and they need to be led spiritually or morally. If you can, and she's not going to do these things herself. Look what happens when she doesn't have a man. A lot of times life goes downhill very quick. She's trying to cling on to any sort of guy that she can get oftentimes, and this is not good. So this is why you have to understand exactly how women need to be led. Now, taking this a step further, the hardest part on the back end when you guys are consistently seeing each other, let's say you've seen each other for a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years. The hardest part is creating distance or space once you guys have gotten to know each other. Why is this the hardest part? Because when you get to know somebody, things start to seem routine, which makes sense. That's normal human behavior. If you have a best friend named Frank, you and Frank have been friends for a while, eventually you guys just call each other up and you see each other and things seem easy. With women, that's not how it works. You need to actively create distance or space once you've gotten to know each other. So that means you can make all the money in the world. You could be 6'5" with perfect game, okay? What you gotta understand is the more you're right in front of her, the less she likes you. And she needs to miss you. Why does she need to miss you? She needs to miss you because you gotta still operate on some sort of like ancestral or mental model. So what's the mental model that I try to use or that I like actively think about? I think about this, okay. Since our like hardwiring or our biology is still probably from ancient times or prehistoric times, but we have to now live in this modern world with phones and movies and media. Okay, we're all connected 24/7 through like phones and cell phones and stuff. That's not necessarily good because that's not how things were. So you got to think about how things were for hundreds of years or how things were for thousands of years and what women are like hardwired to respond to. So you got to think about, hey, what would my ancestors be doing? Would my ancestors right now be cuddled up on a couch watching Netflix eating popcorn? Is this going to heighten attraction or is this going to lower attraction? What feels good? It's going to feel good to sit on that couch. It's going to feel good to sit there and make out with her. What feels good is typically not good for you, okay? So you got to think about what would the ancestors do? The ancestors would have to go on trips, or they'd have to go build shelter, or they'd have to go hunting. Okay, you got to remember there were no phones. So sometimes if there was trips they'd have to go on, or they'd have to be gone for 12 hours at a time, 24 hours at a time. The key you got to remember here is distance. She needs to see you're building something. She needs to see you're working on something. She needs to see that you're focused on on things other than her. So if you can combination stack all of these together, okay, always expressing slight disinterest and teasing when you're with the woman, okay? Ending communication always on a high note. This is the front end. This is what you do when you first meet the woman. If you pair this with these two concepts, understanding how women need to be led with the 3 core concepts that I put together for you, physically, mentally/emotionally, and spiritually or morally, and you add the fact that you need to create space and distance to get her to want to keep pursuing you, this is a very good combination. This right here, step by step, is how you make women pursue you, and this is keys to getting her feminine. This is the keys to getting her into a submissive state, and this is the key to getting her to want to follow your lead. If you like this video, I want you to hit the like button. I want you to check out the gift down below that I made for you in the description, and we will see you in the next one.